Hello and welcome to this review of imported Royal Canadian blended Canadian whiskey. I have it in this glass bottle. Today, in the modern day, it's sold in plastic bottles, according to the Sazerac website. I bought this in Louisiana, but I've never seen it anywhere else in Louisiana, okay? You can tell it's an old bottle, like the label's kind of chipped up and stuff. I came home and I got some hot water and soap and cleaned it up, you know.
Wow. It
says, distilled under supervision of the Government of the Dominion of Canada. Product of Canada. 80 proof. Typical whiskey proof. Imported and bottled in the United States by Sazerac Company, Frankfort, Kentucky. Buffalo Trace Distillery is where they bottle it. A lot of Canadian whiskeys are done that way there. Made in Canada, but they ship them over here and bottle them here. Believe it or not. Okay, I did some research. It came out in 1934. Okay.
Okay.
I tried to look up liquor stores to see what they had, if they had product descriptions, but they kept bringing up Crown Royal. You know, I said, well, it's not Crown Royal. There is a version that came out with a few years ago called Small Batch. Royal Canadian Small Batch in a different bottle design, but we don't have that here. And you got the two lions and the Canadian leaf shield, the horse head at the top here. What else? I was on Louisiana Highway 18, the River Road, in Marrero, Louisiana, and I stopped at this place called Ali and Sons. So it was a very peculiar place. And I went in there, they sell all kind of stuff, stereo equipment, some groceries, liquor, and they have a big sign, we do not negotiate liquor prices. Okay, no problem. So I saw this on the shelf, they had like 2 or 3 bottles. I said, I never heard of Royal Canadian, right? So, I see that.
Have about half that amount, please.
Well, it's only like 2 ounces, okay. So I say, well, it's $5.99, and I thought, I don't want to pay $5.99. I don't even know what this stuff is. So I told the guy, I said, how much is that? And it's spilling it. Oh, it's $5.99. I said, I would have bought it for $5, but don't worry about it. Okay. You know, so he didn't act like he was worried about it. So I was walking back across the highway to my car, and I hear this guy screaming out. It sounded like a foreign language, like he was saying, Kadi, Kadi. I couldn't understand what he was saying. I heard this as I was getting into my car, and I looked back and he said, I think with his right hand, sir, if you want to buy it for $5, you can have it. I said, so they don't negotiate with liquor prices.
I guess, you know, you just made a really reasonable offer.
And I came back in, he said, and his father was looking, it was like he was a younger guy in his 20s. His father was looking like he was mad. He says, well, we only have a few bottles left, so you can have it for $5. I said, okay. I guess his father screamed, you know, when I left the store, why are you not selling? You know, we've got 3 bottles left, sell the liquor. So I could see it was kind of dirty, whatever. I brought it home and I cleaned it, and then I glued the back with some glue. But anyway.
Okay, so some nice $5 whiskey.
Now, well, you know, it would be 10 for the regular size bottle, I guess. Now, another little bit. Came out in 1934. It was introduced. This is the 4th company owning it, Sazerac. It was originally, I think, Barclays. Then it got bought by Hiram Walker. Then it was all owned by Austin Nichols. And now Sazerac. So like a lot of these brands that get passed around. So, okay. That's it. Couldn't find any reviews of it, and I didn't see anything else. And it looks like this is the first video review for this whiskey in the world. What about the color? Gold?
Gold.
Little bit of alcohol legs on it, you know, the drips. I read an article on the Canadian government website, Government of Canada website, their whiskey regulations. They're allowed to flavor their whiskey up to 9.09% with wine or rum or brandy or even bourbon from the United States. So they always have these kind of peculiar aromas. Well,
it smells sweet.
It's strong with the alcohol burn.
Astringent.
Sweet.
Brown sugary.
Yeah, like the light brown sugar.
It smells like a daiquiri or something, like a dessert drink, like that somebody spikes. Like, I don't know, because it smells really sweet and really boozy. And that's the first thing I thought of.
There's so many different
Like an
bottles.
Irish coffee or something.
Yeah, there's so many different bottle designs or sizes they showed on the Sazerac website. And it looks like this is from, I can't quite be sure, but this says 84, but it can't be from 1984. It's because it got www a lot, you know, the website. It's probably from 2006, 2006. So it's not too old. I couldn't see any other dating on it. And the bottle is a strange glass. You notice the glass is like got little like air bubbles all in it. It's
like an old window.
Yeah, very old timey glass. It's almost like Sazerac found some old bottles and said, let's use them.
Wow.
And there's some digital code, but it's obscured by something else, so I can't make it out. It doesn't really matter. But it is not new because the new ones are plastic.
It's a little floral.
The new small bottles are plastic. Little floral, and it's pale. It's
Mellow,
light.
Light, yeah.
It's not a strong aroma.
No. It's just sharp.
At first, but you know, as it's breathed, I don't find it sharp.
No. But that first smell of it, I was like, ooh.
It was, wow, but then as it dissipated, it kind of mellowed out. Well, anyway, you ready to try it?
Sure.
And I've literally never seen it anywhere else. Nutty.
It's not very good, I don't think.
I pick up almonds.
It's very dull. Like, it's just kind of a bland taste to me. I also get almonds, but again, almond isn't exactly a vibrant flavor.
You get these Canadian whiskeys, and many of them are produced to be mixers. Like
I would put this
mixed
in
drinks.
coffee.
The one that's real popular is Canadian Mist, which is very inexpensive, and it's so dull. We were saying it's so dull. Now I drank on it, and it kind of had a little more character than I first accused it of not having. But yeah, this one is kind of like.
This isn't anything I would be like, oh, let me linger over this.
It's probably.
I would make a cheap mixed drink with it.
It's probably very
Although I
young.
don't even think Justin probably wouldn't make a mixed drink with it because he's so
picky.
He would have a heart attack.
It's probably produced at the minimum requirements, you know, age 3 years, you know. It's not inexpensive.
But like for $5, make a bunch of cheap drinks with it.
Yeah, but you know what?
Make
That's not really that great of a deal because let me tell you right now. I bought a bottle of Canadian Limited at Walmart, twice the size of this bottle, glass, not plastic, and it was $7.42. So this is not the greatest price, but I said, you know what? If I don't buy it at Ali and Sons, I bet you I'll never see it again. So when you see those kind of things, you just got to jump on it, whether it's good or bad. I said $5. What the heck? I don't think it has any bad flavors.
No, it's just bland, it's boring, like white bread or iceberg lettuce. It's not
There's nothing
bad. It's just
nothing to make you say, "Oh man, you just
No.
gotta try Royal Canadian." I'm picking up a little
like
wine,
it's not arugula or a dark rye. It's,
a little plum.
I feel a little like you're reaching.
No, and the
But-
back taste, medium mouthfeel. It's a kind of a quick finish. Yeah, it's very. No, I'm not reaching. You're right. It is very dull, I guess you'd say, or bland, and it's reminiscent of Canadian Mist, which comes from a
haven't had
different
that.
company.
I mean, I don't know, what is the well whiskey that they give you at a bar? What is that usually?
Have you ever gone to a bar and said, "I want a Canadian whiskey blend"?
No.
No.
I say, unless I'm ordering something special, like, oh, I want to try that whiskey. Like, me and Justin might get a whiskey neat and like try something. But I usually just get like whiskey ginger with lime, the cheapest whiskey they have. If I'm out, like,
What's the well? It's not this. I'm sure it's probably.
I'm just curious. Like, I wonder, like, what
It would probably be some
is
like.
the standard?
I
that
went
they
to some
use?
bars and I kind of look at them, you know, and try to keep an eye on what they're having. It might be some like T.W. Samuels, which is a cheap blended whiskey from the United States, or it could be like Beams 8 Star, or if they're not super cheap skates at a bar, it'll be like Seagram 7. Crown. 7 Crown is like a little more expensive, cheap whiskey. So
$7 whiskey ginger instead of $5 whiskey ginger.
right, it'd be whatever they got really cheap, but it's not going to be this unless you ask for a Canadian. You know, they're just not going to. They're not going to use this as.
Oh, Friday night. Was it Friday? No, Saturday night. My friend, we're at a karaoke bar, and her little fancy butt got a $20 glass of scotch, and I had a sip of it. I need to remember what it was called. It was Bay something, but I had it. I was like, oh, you would like this, because it wasn't very peaty, but it had a richer taste than, like, you know, the bottle that you brought me.
Oh, the
you know,
Clan McGregor.
a little bit more going on than the Clan McGregor. But I was like, I couldn't believe it.
Which Walmart has for $8.50 a bottle right now, I might add, on the clearance. Okay, but
I was drinking. Did I close out? I hope so. Anyway.
Well, you think somebody ran up your tab?
No, I just can't remember if I suddenly can't remember if I closed out the bar because I was like, oh. Oh, I'm gonna be so annoyed. Anyway.
You stiffed the people? You didn't pay them?
No, they scan your card and then you're supposed to go close out. So if you leave with your card, it's like they have the information. It's just that you usually get charged a gratuity. So I'm just like, darn.
You mean for not closing out?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
But I bet I did.
Shows you what I know about drinking at bars.
I don't remember. But it was just funny because I'm drinking. That's what, because I was about to say how much my drink was. I'm like, I don't remember how much it was. But you know, the little $5, little cheap whiskey ginger drink, and Amber's drinking this $20 scotch. I couldn't believe it.
If you get vodka, it's usually like Crown Rus vodka or like Taka, but usually Crown Rus because it's even cheaper. And if you get gin, it'd be like Crystal Palace or I think Crown Rus makes there's Crown Rus gin. So like when I go to bars, I'm like sitting all nonchalant and I'll like look and see what their well is. Like if I see the guy reaching out, I'll be like, Crown Rus. At a place like this, and they're charging that kind of money, you could buy a whole bottle of Crown Rus for $6.99. You little rats. Okay, but anyway, but that's how the bar world works. That's why they make money, right? Otherwise, they probably go out of business. Okay.
Probably so.
So anyway, would you recommend it?
No, not especially. I think there's probably better cheap whiskeys, even that we've drank, like stuff that we thought was going to be crap.
Yeah,
we have drunk. Being actually good.
We have drunk some cheap ones.
Like for the price, this is just not impressive. Even, I don't know.
If you're,
I just think even if you're gonna mix it with something, there's better options.
Yeah, like Canadian Limited, which has more flavor than this. More flavorings too. I think if you're a Canadian Mist fan, and there are millions, you probably would like this. Chances are you would just buy the Canadian Mist because you probably won't see this. But it's around, it exists. Now, I would buy the small batch because that's like a age longer and it's more expensive. I'd like to see it and buy it and try it, but probably won't. But anyway, so we did it, we tried it. What can we say?
Sad.
You don't have to finish it if you don't want.
It's fine.
It's probably been sitting on that shelf at Ali and Sons for 12 years, waiting for me to come in there and buy it.
Ugh. It's fine. They can't all be winners.
Hey, well, you know what? Sometimes you buy a $5 bottle of this, and it's bland, and that's the way it works, people. All right. Thanks for watching this video production. Remember, distilled under supervision of the government of the Dominion of Canada. Oh boy, Royal Canadian. I bet you the royal family, when they go to Canada, doesn't drink this. Anyway, thanks for watching this video production.